Hi, I'm Dan Lakin of Bar Events UK. Usually we supply giant teepees, mobile bars and event staff. But while we're still locked down, and let's face it, the event industry is going to be locked down for quite a while, I'm going to be doing these live shows week in, week out, live on Saturday night. And hopefully every week with a special guest. Today we're going to be live in Oregon, USA with someone called Lora Lee, and more on her later. Basically, if you're watching at home and you want to tag someone in it, you'll be entered into a free cocktail competition for some free drinks. So please do. If you're watching on playback, hashtag cocktails every day. Again, tag someone in it and you'll be entered into our competition for some free cocktails at home, posted direct to your door. Exciting news. We've got a winner from last week. Are they watching now? Sometimes they watch on playback, sometimes they watch live. They're not watching now as far as I can see at the moment, but it's Corrie Foster. She tagged 3 or 4 people, increased her chances of winning, and she won some cocktails posted to her door. We'll tag her in this later in case she doesn't catch it live. And we'll try and get her address so we can send them direct to her. Hi everyone, hi Jill, hi Molly, hi Tony, hi Matt, hi Amy, hi everyone that's joined. Please let us know what you're drinking this weekend. As always, before you start making cocktails, pour yourself a glass of red. Get yourself a beer. Make yourself an easy drink that doesn't involve ice, pushing things out of trays and that sort of thing. Get a drink and let's enjoy this. So, today we're making the Pina Colada. If you are making along, you would have got the ingredients before. They've all been on the event. But for those who might want to rush off and grab some stuff, this is a really easy drink. You may already have rum in the house. We're going to be using Bacardi white rum. You need some pineapple juice, just whatever you got in the house if you have got any. Or if you want to juice a pineapple, then you may maybe come back tomorrow. And then coconut milk. It's just a tin of the stuff. It's on a couple of aisles actually in the supermarket. The foreign aisle and don't know where I picked up this, but it's on a couple of the aisles anyway. Coconut milk. And full fat milk or cream. If you've got cream, it's better. Let's face it, we're making these cocktails so they taste nice, not to be healthy. So, if you haven't got all those things, essentially, the flavours that you need is rum, pineapple, coconut. They're the flavours. They're the flavours to make a pina colada. So if you haven't got coconut milk and you have got Malibu, then that's coconut liqueur. If you've got Coco Canoe, that's coconut liqueur. Stick that in instead. We can balance the ingredients to make the cocktail still taste nice. And it's all about, being flexible and making things with what you've got at home. Cocktails at home, that's what it's about. Pineapple juice. Seriously, you're not going to be able to juice a pineapple, I wouldn't say. You might be able to strain some pineapple juice if you've got tin pineapple and that sort of thing. All you need is flavour, really. It can be a short drink at the end of the day, as long as you've got the flavour of coconut, pineapple and rum. So let's get underway. Let's make the drink. As I say most weeks, what you really want is a Boston set like this. If you haven't got that, a 3-piece like you might see Tom Cruise using Cocktail, that's absolutely fine. If you've got a protein shaker, let's put it to good use for once and you make some cocktails in it. If you've got a coffee cup that's got a lid on it, again, let's make some cocktails in it. You won't be traveling very far at the moment, I'm sure. So, it's a large measure of rum. I'm using Bacardi White. So, if you didn't know, Bacardi is the world's largest rum distillery. In fact, some people who drink Bacardi say I love Bacardi and Coke. They don't even know it's rum, because then when you say, oh, we don't have any Bacardi, we've got a different white rum, they say, oh, no, I don't drink rum. Anyway, it's rum. So, stick a large measure in. If you've watched any other weeks, you'll know that 50 mils in a cocktail is pretty much the cocktail. So, you know you don't need to add any other spirits or liqueurs. That said, if you do have any Malibu, take half a shot of that out, or maybe better off don't put it in, and then add half a shot of Cocoa Canoe, Malibu, or whatever other Lidl or Aldi's liqueur you've got, as long as it's coconut. It's about, like I say, getting the flavours in the drink. Next up, pineapple. Any sort of pineapple juice. I'm using Morrison's Own. That's a double shot, and then I'm going to add a single shot. So, like most drinks, there's a bit of controversy as to where this started. I've sort of officially created in 1954 by a bartender at Hilton's Beachcomber Bar in San Juan, Puerto Rico. But, I mean, let's face it, how many years, hundreds of years before that drink was created, were sailors and pirates accidentally, or maybe on purpose, blending coconut, pineapple and rum? I mean, this is the stuff that they shipped across the world all the time, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So the chances of them drinking it then was, probably quite high. I dare say inspiration came from that, and that's where this drink came from. So, coconut milk. If you've got it just in a can, just split the can, pour a single shot, stick it in the drink. There we go. So, all about adding the flavours to the drink. Coconut milk, pineapple, rum. That's it. That said, we want to add some fullness to it. So full fat milk. Or if you haven't got full fat milk, or even better if you've got cream, use cream. It's about adding some depth of flavour, some texture over the tongue, just basically making the drink more full-bodied. So this is full fat milk. Single shot. If you don't want to put the milk in, add more coconut cream. Coconut milk, but that can be a little bit thin. So that is essentially a drink made. Ideally, I mean, who hasn't been on holiday and had a Pina Colada on the beach? It wants to be in a big glass, a hurricane type glass. A hurricane is like wide at the top, comes down slim, and then wide at the bottom on a little stem. That's the perfect glass to put in. I don't have any of those at home. In fact, I don't have any of those in my unit either. They break too easily and they're really expensive. I don't trust my lads with them, if I'm honest. So what I'm going to put it in is one of these, just a little beer glass, but it's got a similar figure, wide at the top, goes in a little bit, fast at the bottom. That's absolutely fine for me. I want to put loads of ice in. The more ice you can use, the better. As I say, each week you want to chill the drink and not dilute it too much. So the more ice, the colder it is, the more you're going to blend it, the more you're going to froth it up, the less you're going to dilute it. So, top on, hard, long shake. There are some recipes out there that involve lime. In fact, there's loads of recipes out there for a pina colada. Loads of different ways of making it. At the end of the day, as long as you've got the ingredients in that I've just suggested, you've made a pina colada. If you put lime in, I did it earlier actually, I tried it. I find citrus and milk and cream a bit weird. You'd think it would split, and after time it will. Shaking it will sit together, but the taste I don't like. So, I mean, try it, because some official recipes do say that. I don't like it. I don't know if you could see in pouring that, it felt a little bit thin to me. That's because I'm not using cream. If you use cream, it'd be thicker. There'd be a bit of a head on it, which is absolutely perfect. And then the garnish. Let's face it, when you order these, you just want a really fancy drink to drink on the beachside, in your cabana or whatever. So let's make the garnish worthwhile. This time I didn't pick a pineapple leaf off the floor in Morrison's. I actually sent the wife out to buy one. I thought, oh, sod it, why not? We can splash out £1. So divide it up, get a nice slice on there. Use the leaf. As I say each week, you want to be able to replicate what's in the drink. It adds to the aesthetics, so when you see it, you sort of know what the taste is going to be. When you put a straw down next to it, you can smell the pineapple before you taste the drink. It's all about adding to it without actually drinking the drink. I mean, hopefully, looking at that, you know it's going to taste of pineapple. Get your nose anywhere near it. You can smell it. Send it over the bar with a big, flamboyant garnish. Other people will see it and think, I want to drink that drink. There we go. So that is a Pina Colada. As long as you get the rum, the pineapple, the coconut, you've made a Pina Colada. So a little bit more about the rums. So the oldest surviving rum is Mount Gay. I'll show you that. Absolutely fantastic rum from Barbados. If you can see that. It's a golden rum. So the Bacardi that we've just used is a light rum. There's a few different variations. There's light rum, there's golden rum, there's dark rum. I'll show you a dark rum. Goslings absolutely love this with ginger beer. Put that there. So, spice rum. Name a spice rum. Who can name a spice rum? Send me some answers. And I bet you won't send this. Ahara's spice rum. Not your usual go-to. But if you can find it, check it out on Amazon. Give it a go. See what you think. Let us know. These are the main rums. There's also a rum that I can't show you, which is Ray Nephew's. Ray Nephew is an overproof rum. So the Royal Navy used to give out daily rations of rum to its sailors until the 1970s. This ration was known as a tot, and it was a full pint of Navy strength rum. So Navy strength is, which is why I brought this up, is Ray Nephew. Ray Nephew is Navy strength. It's a go-to Navy strength rum. So basically, to make it Navy strength, it has to be at least 57%. And it's said that the sailors used to test this. So they would buy this rum and they would load it onto ships, hundreds of years ago probably. And they would know the strength of this rum by wetting the gunpowder with the rum and lighting it. If it didn't light, it wasn't Navy strength. If it went up, it was. So, I mean, the term Navy strength has come around a lot more recent than that, but that's how they used to monitor the strength of their rum. And it's 57%, which is the key to make it go boof. So, as I mentioned in other weeks, there's a drink called a zombie. Basically, overproof rum on top, light it, really flamboyant drink, like all tiki bars will do one, and they'll sell it for 15, 20 quid probably, because of the overproof rum in it. It's on fire, it's really pretty to see, every one of them buy it. That's why, yeah, so that's an overproof rum anyway. Really, really flammable rum. I'm going to pass that to my glamorous assistant. Thank you. My Debbie McGee. Okay, so what time are we on? So that is the Pina Colada. Really basic ingredients, but you can jazz it up a bit with different ways of adding coconut to it. So if you can get Malibu, if you can get Cocoa Canoe, which is essentially Malibu, but more of a spirit, less of a liqueur, it's stronger. Then take half a shot of the Bacardi out, or half a shot of your white rum out, and add in that half a shot of the liqueur. You still need the 2 to 3 shots of pineapple. That's always going to be there. It's the only way you can get the pineapple flavour in, and the length in the drink. You're always going to need coconut milk. However, saying that, if you have put a bit of Cocoa Canoe or Malibu in, on Amazon you can buy this thing called coconut syrup. So it makes the drink a bit sweeter, a bit thicker. Instead of the milk, it's a great substitute, and it'll sit in your cupboard for weeks, months. And then lastly, all you need is cream or full fat milk. If you use semi-skimmed, it's going to be a thin drink. If you use cream and a little bit of milk, then you know you can blend them both and you can make a fantastic pina colada. So there we go. That is a pina colada. That's as simple as that. 3 ingredients: coconut, pineapple, rum. Right. So we're coming up to 8:15. So let's introduce our next guests. We have with us not a bartender, which is crazy for this, I know, but she's a nurse, which is actually pretty awesome because she's in America. She's with us because you used to see her Instagram. I've been looking through Instagram, looking for awesome bartenders that can come and join us from across the globe live. So, the drinks on there look absolutely incredible, absolutely crazy. So live with us, and I've got to put my in-ear in because otherwise I can't hear her. Live with us from Oregon, USA, it's Lora Lee, everybody! Woo! Lora, how you doing?
Doing pretty well, thank you.
How's that for an intro?
That's great.
What's it like over there? What's it like in lockdown? Because you know we're all in a similar situation where coronavirus is affecting all of us. What's it like over there?
It's very interesting. Right now we're in phase 2, I think. We've opened up a lot of things and some in dining, but there's a lot of restrictions. So there's a lot of businesses still affected. Right now there's not a lot of talk of a lot of self-quarantining anymore. There's a lot of things going on politically with the country. So it's kind of, interesting. But the first part when it was in quarantine, it was pretty, very rough on a lot of people.
I remember when we first spoke, you mentioned your community really came together and started doing care packages. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so I'm a part of a food group called Eugene Foodies, and it's a big network where everybody shares things, kind of like a little community of cocktails on Instagram, but it's on Facebook where everybody shares within the community. And there's been a lot of people that weren't able to access different things. They're very scared, immunocompromised, elderly. And so during the lockdown, a lot of people were going out without a lot of things. And a lot of things were being hoarded, hence toilet paper. Anyways, where I was going with that is the fact that we needed to come together. And one of the most beautiful things that I saw was people were helping, offering help. And I had a lot of friends that were very much so into food, and they weren't being able to access some necessities. And we played this game called Ding Dong Ditch. So it was like a childhood game, but we made it an adult. We would drop off care packages and then just ring the doorbell and run away. But it was a nice way for us to be able to provide things for friends, like toilet paper, like food, milk, meat, medications if we need to go pick them up. And I was seeing that a lot around the community, and it was just really heartwarming to see people come together.
Yeah, that's really nice. That is really nice. Look, let's drop you in at the deep end. And like I said before, I know you're not a bartender, but you've got fantastic drinks online. So show us what you're making for us today.
Today I'm going to make dalgona, which is the Korean whipped coffee. It actually originated as a street food for candy called honeycomb candy. And it's just evolved over time, and it's been something that's been around for quite a while. But now there was like famous videos on TikTok, and who doesn't like coffee? So I decided to do some other takes on it and make a cocktail out of it and have a little fun.
Sounds great. Fire away. Show us how it's done.
All right, so you want to get some things set up. You'll want like a mixer. It's good to use one of these handheld ones. It's great for control, and also it's pretty fast. It's easier than whipping it, which you can do, but a lot of people, they kind of get tired. So you're going to want equal parts of sugar and instant coffee. You have to use instant coffee. There's something in there that actually makes it froth up a lot better. You have to be choosy because some of them are strong, and obviously not all coffee is equal. I use this espresso instant coffee. It's one of my favorites, and it works really well. So what it is you're going to go ahead and start with a glass of milk. I like mine cold, so I use a bit of ice. I'm heating the water over here, so that will be ready for me when I'm ready for it. So here's the part. You can use almost anything. Rum is really good. Whiskey if you want. A lot of things really complement coffee. I'm just going to go simple with a vodka. I've been really concentrating on making a point to purchase vodka and different alcohols from local companies to help support my community, especially during right now. And I'm going to add in the milk and leave a little room because I'm going to have some coffee with. So I'm just going to set that aside. My water started. I have about 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 tablespoons of the espresso coffee instant mix. And then I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of hot water in there. And it needs to be hot and boiling. I don't like using measuring tools. So I'll just eye it. There we go. All right, it's going to get loud for a second because I'm going to use this handheld mixer. You'll know when it's done because it's going to be frothy and you'll see the colors change.
By the way.
Everybody has their own preferences, how whipped they like theirs. I kind of like it to be able to go down a bit so I can mix it because it's very strong. Warning, it's very strong. But then you just pour it over and it's just really frothy. And here you go. I use a spoon or a straw. I like using a straw. I have this one. I got it somewhere on Amazon. It kind of has like that. So it kind of pushes all the foam down so you can have it completely mixed.
Laura, can you bring it to the camera a bit closer so we can see it a bit closer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks great. So simple, but it's all in the technique, isn't it? I guess we don't really. Well, I mean, I've certainly never thought of frothing coffee over here, but that is turning into quite a big thing in the US, isn't it?
It has. It's been fun. A lot of kids have been catching on. Hopefully, they're using decaf for the parents' sake. But coffee is pretty popular in the U.S. It's pretty much life for us, especially when you work long hours.
Yeah. The thing I love about that drink is it's I guess it's a slight twist on a White Russian, but served so much more professionally than any bartender would serve a White Russian. That's certainly something that I'm going to be trying in the future. I love the technique and I love the simplicity.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely make sure you don't need to go to sleep within the next 8 to 12 hours.
Where did you get your ideas from?
Oh goodness. I love cooking and I've always had a huge connection to food. So a lot of times I try to find things that will complement what I'm making. So I don't know, like I'll make a summer dish and it will have strawberries in the salad, and then I'll make a cocktail with strawberries and try to find something that has complementing flavors.
So you get a lot of your inspiration from cooking?
Yes, I do.
So maybe we should start another show and we'll get you on chefing up some dishes as well. Tell us a bit about you being a nurse. I mean, that's quite a fascinating thing to hear about in this day and age with COVID going around. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, there's so many areas where you can be a nurse and a lot of lateral movement. Right now, I work actually at a plasma center, and it's amazing because we're getting convalescent plasma. And when I mean convalescent plasma, we're talking about COVID-19. And we're talking about the antibodies that your body produces for them. So they're getting enough so they can start doing the clinical trials to give convalescent plasma to people who are sick to help them recover.
So I mean that's absolutely fascinating. When you first said that, it took me a while to process. So I guess just to reiterate, you're taking blood from people and extracting the plasma from their blood, people who have already had COVID-19, and then trying to give those antibodies to people to recover, or to people who haven't got it for protection?
To help people recover.
Okay.
It may evolve into something more of a vaccine or as a preventative measure, but right now there's so little information and they have to start somewhere. And right now the need is to help the people survive if they end up getting it.
I mean, it's beyond belief to hear that, especially in the UK. I mean, if I'm completely honest, I don't watch the news because it's a little bit depressing, but it's fascinating to know that there is this stuff going on. And you guys are actively trying it and trialing it and using it. So yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, how did you get into being a nurse? Where did it all start for you?
Um, I've always wanted to help people, and I've always felt that in my heart. So I was lucky enough to be able to finish out some education, and I needed something that I knew that would be stable. I'd gotten laid off from a job that I worked for 7.5 years, so that was pretty shocking. And I just ended up in the medical field. I kind of wanted to be when I was younger, but it was nice being able to evolve from working at a plasma center as a line staff, doing some like phlebotomy and just learning and realizing that I was really passionate about learning more. And I just said, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I went to school for it. And it's probably the best thing I've ever done.
Well, yeah, I bet it must be quite rewarding.
It is. It makes you feel good. You can come home and feel good about what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So at the moment, I think if I remember you saying, do you do four? You're doing like 4 10-hour shifts a week or something. Anyway, you're working pretty much full time, aren't you?
Yes, that's correct.
And so how? I'm just wondering if there's any difference to the laws in the UK at the moment with COVID-19. We're allowed to go out and socialise at a distance of 2 meters with one or two people. It's really restrictive. The bars and restaurants aren't open. We can't go in play parks where there's swings and slides. What can you do over there, like, and what, or maybe more importantly, what can't you do? Because I know it sounds like you've been a bit more. Some of the restrictions have been released and less restrictive.
Yeah, it sounds like it. We definitely can do a lot more. They have open dining, takeout still pretty strong, but we have the 6 feet rule here where they want everybody to stay 6 feet apart. A lot of stores are open. Most of them are. They're making sure that only a certain amount of people are in the building at a time. Some places like medical facilities, you have to have your temperature taken before you go in. So there's a lot of precautions, which is good, but nothing's being enforced, particularly with the distancing. So you have like different groups that believe different things, and some people are still staying at home, especially people who are immunocompromised. And gyms are open now, but they only allow these certain people in.
Oh wow, okay. So I guess it's not far from getting back to a relative sense of normality, is it? Or do you see that being quite far away?
Um, I'm not sure. It's expected that phase 2 will last till fall. Unfortunately, there's still some businesses that can't open at the moment, like sushi bars where the seating is around the bar. They're not allowing that. I think they are if you have plexiglass, but I think that also defeats the purpose of having a sushi bar with an actual sushi chef.
Yeah, yeah.
This, yeah,
Yeah, crazy. Well, I mean, it is promising to speak to yourself and know there is, you know, hope out there because, I mean, certainly for me, I haven't been watching the news, so it's nice to hear something positive for a change in the plasma and the release of restrictions and that sort of thing. But also, Laura, I mean, we can't have an American on without mentioning what's happening across the US and let's face it, the world as a result of George Floyd being killed by a police officer. I know you had a friend caught up in the violent protests innocently. I hope she's recovering okay. It is horrible to hear what happened to her. So Laura, I just want to finalise by saying, stay safe. I hope your country and the world can pull together soon. And thank you so much.
thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to talking to you later. I keep definitely my thoughts are with everybody in this world that we can make sure that we salvage as many lives as we can.
Laura, you're an absolute star. Thank you so much, and goodbye.
Thank you.
What an absolute star to have with us. We'll link to Laura's Instagram and Facebook on this chat afterwards. We'll confirm our next guest and the drinks on Monday and the ingredients you'll need. But please don't forget, if you're watching live, tag someone who would love to see this and tell them why. If you're watching on playback, then hashtag cocktails every day and also tag someone who might like to see this. There's a chance of winning free cocktails posted direct to your door. All we're asking to do is tag people in this. It helps us and it'll help you if you win. Thanks. I'm Dan Lakin and I am done.